I'm very excited today to be able to introduce to you a man who I've known for a very long time, quite a number of years going back now, and always at the heart of it has been his interest, his love, his passion, his teaching with healing. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a course organizer and a tutor of the Arthur Findlay College, and a man whose depth of experience with healing and knowledge is phenomenal. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Andrej Djordjevitch. Hello, Andrej.
Hello, Helen. Thank you.
I mean, really excited to be able to talk to you because I think a lot of people would love to know your story on healing and where it began. And I mean, I remember going back years with you, with courses, and then meeting you in Castleford as well. And here we are. Last time I saw you, we were working together at the Arthur Findlay College on the Healing Week, the Summer Healing Celebrations. So I would love for you to be able to tell us your journey, because even after all that time, I don't think I ever managed to sit down. We ever had the time to sit down and hear the journey. So if I can hand over to you, Andrej, that'd be amazing.
Okay, thank you, Helen. Yeah, and thanks for giving up your time to speak to me.
Pleasure.
My journey, wow. Well, this is something I wasn't looking for. This is something I wasn't even aware of. I didn't know about the spirit world or anything like that. And it was almost like an accident. And I'll tell you my very first interaction with the spirit world. I damaged my knee playing squash. And somebody said to me, there's a healer in the front room. He'll give you some healing. And I said, where's the catch? How much does he charge? What does he want? Is it a cult? And I said, I've got private medical health care. I will go to Bupa and have my knee fixed. So anyway, this intrigued me a little bit. So the next week I went to the opticians and I got my first pair of bifocal glasses, you know, where you look down and you can see when you need to read. So the next week I went back to my friend's house and the healer was in the front room again. And I said, right, I'm going to sort this guy out. So I got my new pair of glasses on. I went into the room. I sat in front of him. I put my knee in front of him. And I said, I'm told you can fix my knee. I was I challenged him because I didn't believe.
Yeah.
Well, he put his hands on my knee. And as I looked down, I could see smoke coming out of my knee.
Wow.
That's the only way I could describe it. Well, do you know what I did? I went back to the opticians and said they'd given me the wrong prescription for my glasses.
Oh, that's amazing.
True story. I said, I'm starting to see things.
Couldn't make it up, could you?
No. And they said, I'm terribly sorry, sir. We'll change it now for you. But of course, they checked the prescription and they said there isn't nothing wrong with the prescription. And I said, well, I'm seeing things. So anyway, well, all along, I wasn't concerned. At some level, it didn't worry me, but it was completely new to me. So I went back to see the healer, and when I walked into the room, he started talking to somebody behind me. Well, of course, I turned around, there's nobody there. I thought, this guy's crazy. So basically, he gave me a message from the spirit world to say that this is a pathway that is an option for me. They would very much like to join with me in this pathway if I was prepared to join with them. And that was my very first recognition of the spirit world. But all along, everything has seemed perfectly natural.
Yes.
And now, so I know at some level of my being, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
So from that point, you know, you're like a child in a sweet shop. You throw yourself in head first and experience everything.
Yeah.
And I found it very easy to go into an altered state.
Yes.
You know, it just seemed perfectly natural to me. I could quite easily go into an altered state.
Yes.
Which was perfect for healing.
Yeah.
So I focused very much on attunement with healing. And then as I was developing my healing, my attunement with the spirit world, I had an urge to teach.
Yeah.
And I could never understand when I left school, all my friends went to teachers training college and I didn't go. I just, you know, and they went, you know, and I thought, why aren't I teaching? I didn't understand. And then it dawned on me that I was going to teach mediumship. So I'm the sort of person that ticks all the boxes.
Yes.
In other words, I planned my journey ahead. What do I need to achieve to teach mediumship?
Yeah.
And I started off going through the route with the SNU.
Yes.
Getting the awards, getting the accreditation, and then learning how to teach mediumship.
Brilliant.
And it's something I'm doing now. I'm winding down from my job.
Yes.
And as soon as I made the decision last year, because last year my mother passed the spirit.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. She's gone to the spirit world. The time was right. But it dawned on me that life is too short.
Yes.
And if I have a passion to teach, then I should get on with it.
You must. Hmm.
But as soon as I made that decision, the doors everywhere seemed to open for me.
Yes.
And I got a lot of weeks at the Arthur Findlay College. I got a lot of weeks abroad. But what I love with the spirit world, I love the way the spirit world works.
Yes.
Because my passion is trance, and in particular trance healing. And the spirit world started to experiment with me in the trance state.
Yes.
And sometimes when I go into a trance state, I am completely out of it. Other times, I am completely aware of what is going on.
Yeah.
Now that's really contradictory, but it's almost like if the spirit world, or I've been able to split my mind into two halves,
Yeah.
a passive mind and an active mind. And as long as the active mind doesn't engage with a passive mind, I can still produce the results in a deep trance state.
Absolutely.
And it's almost like an out-of-body experience, looking at myself, giving healing. And that happened at the college not so long ago. I did a trance healing demonstration in the sanctuary, and I was sitting in the fourth row back with the students, watching myself, sitting there. I could hear everything that was going on. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
It was very surreal. So I thought, wow, I want to teach this. This is different. I want to try to share with people that there are different ways of going into the trance state, and there are different ways how the spirit world can interact with you. Yeah. And I said to myself, how can this happen? Well, I had a phone call from the college, and they said, Andrej, we'd like you to do 2 trance healing weeks. one in November this year, one in June next year. I said, yes. And they said, but we want to be different.
Yes.
And I said, wow. I said, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you could then have the opportunity to explore this with people who are equally as enthusiastic and interested.
That's right. Yes. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look at different ways of inducing the trance state.
Yeah.
But also, whilst in the trance state, seeing how the spirit world will interact with people.
Definitely.
Will it just be a flow of healing energy? Would it be the vibration behind the voice? Could it be the wisdom behind words? Or a mixture of all three?
Could be everything, couldn't it?
It could be everything. So I'm really looking forward to experimenting with people who are prepared to say, okay, let's throw it out to the spirit world. Let's see how the spirit world can interact with us.
I mean, you're speaking to my heart. As you know, I sort of love this experimenting, and the experience you have is an exercise I have on one of my trance CDs where you separate yourself and become the observer of yourself.
That's right, yeah.
And I think it's fascinating that this just happened spontaneously, and that's what fascinates. That was a concept that was explored in a CD that I recorded, but it actually happened to you spontaneously without sort of trying to do it. It just happened.
No, it happened. Well, actually, it happened a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I was doing a trance healing demo in the large lounge at the Arthur Findlay College, and after about 10 minutes, I found myself standing by the window, looking out of the window. My mind was active. I was looking at the horses in the field. I was looking at the trees. And I thought, what am I teaching next? What's the next class? What do I prepare? And then I thought, hold on, I'm teaching now, aren't I? and I turned around from the window and I could see myself sitting in the seat.
So
it has happened before without even trying. It has happened.
Yeah. So it's this whole sort of out of body thing, isn't it? That's happened.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And how does it feel when that happens? It feels normal, feels natural.
It feels totally normal because I'm not aware I'm out of body.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my mind. It's just I placed my awareness at a different place.
Now this is something that interests me, Andrej. The moment you realize you're out of body, are you back in your body?
The first time I did it, I wanted to come back.
Yeah.
But since then, no. I've trained my mind.
Yeah.
To observe without engaging.
It'd be great if you write about this one day. That would be fantastic. I'd love to read more about this because it's evolving, isn't it? It's fantastic.
That's right. Well, whenever I teach trance healing, one of the elements of what I try to teach, and I say to people, this is something that may work for you. And I just tell them to shift their awareness from where they are to a different place.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people find that very, very rewarding.
Definitely, absolutely, because it is about control of the mind in a sense.
That's right.
Where we're going to put it and where that intention goes and how we're going to work with it. I think it's absolutely fascinating. So I wanted to ask you, you've got this course, you've been offered 2 courses, November and is it June?
June, yes, beginning of June next year.
And one of them is the innovative trance healing.
Yes.
And I wondered if there's anything particular you could share about that, or is it, which sounds incredibly exciting, a chance just to sort of rock up, work with the spirit and see where it takes us? What kind of ideas have you got there?
Yeah. Well, basically, I understand that we are all individuals. We all have our unique link to the spirit world. So I'd imagine lots of people will have different experiences.
Absolutely, yes.
I will try to explain to people that put aside any thoughts you have of how trance healing normally works, and just open yourself up to the spirit world and we'll see what's happening. What I'll try to do is try to, well, I tend to work very intuitively anyway.
Yeah.
But see what the spirit world will bring. Certainly, I know the spirit world are going to focus very much on shifting your awareness to somewhere else.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And I've been working on different exercises for that to happen. So that will be a biggie. And once your awareness is shifted somewhere else, whether it's active or passive somewhere else, I don't think it matters, as long as you're not engaging.
Yeah, as long as you're not controlling it, you're letting the spirit do the work. Yeah.
You let the spirit work, and then see how the spirit world are going to work with that passive side of you.
Wonderful.
I mean, I've asked Minister Simone Key to come on the first course with me.
Perfect.
Well, I thought, who can I have to ask? Who can join me on this first course? And it had to be Simone, you know. So I would expect, because of that, there might even be some trance communication, evidential mediumship in the trance state.
Definitely.
Definitely.
In fact, you know, I mean, I, you know, as you know, I know her well, and I know on occasions when she has sat for groups, it's been highly evidential within the trance of people's loved ones. And I mean, the last time I experienced that, everyone came out of the sanctuary in tears of emotion because it was just so beautiful and it was evidential. So I'm sure you're going to get, what with you and what's happening, and you know, having another great teacher of trance there, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing week. Very exciting.
I'm really, really excited. I know it'll be spirit world influence throughout. I've tried writing the course and I can't quite get it in my head yet. So I know the spirit world will produce it on the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it is so refreshing, because what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to be very pure and natural with spirit, and see it as a very natural thing. And it always has been for me too. And so I can totally relate to you. And, you know, I think what's so refreshing is we're moving away from this rigidity.
That's right.
Where, you know, in the past we have seen people say, no, it's got to be like that, or no, it's got, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And, you know, obviously within boundaries of ethics, of course,
yes.
You know, we keep within the rules always, and the spirit world know that as well as we know that. But I think what's so lovely is it is allowing that flow of naturalness of your own spirit, the spirit world, healing, source, whatever you want to call it, without saying, no, it's got to be done this way and it's got to be done that way.
That's
so
right.
This sounds perfect. It sounds so pure.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I know the students will enjoy it, because I think it's an ideal setting for them to express their own spirituality.
Definitely.
Their own individual spirituality.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. And that is so important, isn't it? That if we are to progress with trance, we've got to allow that individuality to evolve, rather than look to how it was, you know, in the 1950s or wherever, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
Evolving.
It's like, it's when I teach mediumship. Some of the teachers I used to have when I was younger say, what do you see? And I think that can put a lot of people off, because if they're not clairvoyant, they're not going to see anything.
Exactly.
They might be clairsentient, You know, they might be clairaudient. So what I try to say is open up your awareness.
Yeah.
And what are you becoming aware of? How are you interacting with the spirit world?
Definitely.
And then it allows them then to work their way.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I'm very excited for you about this course, and I can't wait to hear how it all goes. And I know it's going to be very exciting. And
Well, there's still space if you want to come on it, Helen.
I've retired from the college now. Yeah, but no, I've had some wonderful experiences there, but I know how much the students enjoy it, and certainly people who are real seekers of that connection and that depth of connection with spirit. The trance courses really do come into their own at the college, and so you're really going to get the true seekers. I wanted to ask you, Andre, are you able to take your courses anywhere else and work with this as well? Do you travel abroad with it, or have you got any workshops in the UK?
Yeah, I teach for the past 5 years. I've been teaching trance healing at the Barbanel Centre.
Brilliant.
And that's where I sort of learned to teach trance, I suppose. So I will always be thankful to the Barbanel Centre, and I will always try to support them as much as I can.
Yeah.
But like I said last year, as soon as I said I want to teach more, all of a sudden I had a weekend in Germany last year. I had a weekend in Basel. This year I've got a weekend in Helsinki. I've got a weekend in Oslo. I have a weekend in Sweden. And I've just been asked to teach for a week in Vancouver.
There you go.
And that was just me saying, I want to teach.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all that happened.
A lot of people call it the law of attraction, don't they?
Correct, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, it's worked. And you're ready. You've let everyone know in the spirit world that you're ready, and you're ready in yourself, and boom, it's all happening. But it is very exciting, and I know we're going to see a lot more of you. Not that you haven't been around doing this for a long time. You've been teaching, quite a few years now, and you've been healing. So we just go back. I remember a long time ago, you were in charge of the healing committee for the SM as well, weren't you?
I was healing chairman for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that because I tried to make a lot of changes from the way it was, try to bring it forward a bit. And I know now the current committee, they're carrying on making changes.
Yes.
Making healing, sort of suitable for this time, this period in time. But yeah, I loved being chairman of the healing committee.
Yeah. And so
it was really good.
You've got a really extensive background and knowledge of healing, and I know you've trained a lot of healers as well and assessed them. So the students are very lucky to have you. Yeah.
What I try to do, lots of my best friends are people who I've trained as healers.
Yeah.
Because I say to people, look, if you ever want any support, please contact me at any time. I say maybe next week or maybe in 10 years' time. And last week I had this lovely email. I did a meditation one morning at the college about 5 years ago. And this person just sent me an email 5 years later. I've forgotten what's happened in the meditation. Can you repeat it again for me?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some people I'm in contact with on a weekly basis, and others, but no, I think once you make friends within healing, I think they tend to stay with you.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it is about helping each other. It is about, so it's so important to build those networks and support each other and then pass it along as you become more confident in yourself, the ones you teach, to pass on that, we're here to support each other. Yeah.
That's right. And I think I share what I do. I share my experiences.
Yeah.
And you know what? The more I share, the more I get.
It's that law of attraction again, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
We can't get away from it. Even if we want to call it something else, we can't. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Andrej, it's been really exciting to talk to you today. Okay. And, I would like to ask you that if anybody would like to find out more about you and your courses, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Probably on my Facebook page now would be the easiest way to do it.
Facebook, right. I'll get the link of your Facebook page and put it in the description if that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. And you post up about your courses on there as well, do you?
Yes, I do. That's why I've done it, basically, to let people know what I'm doing.
That's great. And of course, I'll put the link to the Arthur Findlay College as well there, so people can look you up there as well. Okay. But it really is fascinating, and I really appreciate you coming on here and giving up your time this evening, because when I hear the word innovative, and that's the way I've always worked, is I've always experimented and always explored. If someone said to me, no, you can't do it like that, then I'm going to go the other way, and I want to find out why.
That's right.
And so you're a man after my own heart there. You really are, because I think it's what we need. And it's so exciting to hear about this innovative trance healing, moving things forward, allowing the expression of spirit and healing with the individual. And I want to thank you. You're bringing great things to obviously the college, but also into people's lives with this work. And it's been wonderful to hear about it. Thank you very much.
Lovely. And thank you very much for inviting me.
It's my pleasure, Andrej. Thank you.
Okay.